What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Cleanspark today. I know it's been a while since we talked about it, not too long, but probably about a week or so, maybe less than a week actually. But looking at this chart here, you can see that we actually rejected this 50 area, which is not a good thing. It's very much not a good thing, and you can see that in the price itself. What is a good thing is we're kind of holding these lows. We are holding the price right around this purple line here, which to some degree has been significant on Cleanspark. I wouldn't say the line itself is significant. It's more like around this area. Like here you found resistance on it, here you found support on it, but around it, not on it directly, right? Here you found resistance on it, but not on it directly. Resistance on it, but not on it directly. Here I think we might be finding support on it, but I wouldn't expect that we find support on it directly. We probably do go a little bit lower, probably a little bit lower. We're at 458 now. Maybe we go to 438. Maybe we go all the way down to 420, something like that. But I do think overall, in this trend, we are still firmly entrenched in the uptrend. You can see very clearly that we have higher lows and higher highs. If this was a channel, I'm going to try to draw a channel here real quick, actually. Let's see. Yeah, you can see right here, we've got a little bit lower to go. We could go a little bit below this line. We might not. We could turn around right here, but don't be surprised if we go down to about, what would that be? That'd be about 435 actually. So that's actually not 420. That's a little bit nicer. But all in all, I don't expect that we're going to break out of this trend. I do think that we're going to hold it and maintain prices there. It's just a matter of time before this thing starts to take up again. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I just want to reconfirm my ideals with this. As long as we're in this uptrend, I'm convinced, and yes, we are very close to breaking out of it. It wouldn't take much to break out of this uptrend, but I'm pretty convinced, and I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I do think that we are going to go higher. So let's see here. Very high volume throughout this whole trend coming up. If we look at the daily on the RSI here, you are showing strength even though you are showing weakness. You are not getting into the oversold zone. You are holding price above it. Maybe you get down here again. Maybe you bounce directly off of the oversold zone, get just below these levels in the RSI. Maybe you don't. Maybe you form a higher low. Who knows? But I would expect that whenever you break this kind of trend here, from high to high here, whenever you break this lower high structure in the RSI, I think that we will see the true colors of this thing, and those colors are going to be green, and we're going to go probably upwards toward $10. $10 is a psychological number, so if we find some resistance there, it wouldn't be surprising. But just because we're in an uptrend does not mean that we can't. It does not mean that we can't break through this channel. We absolutely can. We can break through it, come back and find support on it, and then continue higher. Something like that is totally possible. Maybe we do find resistance up here and then come back down. Who knows what we do, but at the moment I would expect just a little bit more to the downside, just a little bit more. And then from there we can go up. I've been waiting. I'm patiently waiting. I'm sure a lot of you are, or maybe some of you are. I do think this is a promising asset. It is a crypto miner, a Bitcoin miner. They use nuclear power to power their crypto miners, and I think that's just cool, man. I think that to me, it just sounds futuristic, and they, from what I've gathered from the research I've done on them, they are growing and they are taking things seriously. They are implementing things to better their services and products and all that stuff. So I do think that that this thing is going to do very well. I actually have some call options bought on this, and I do own some stock as well. And I would expect that by the end of this bull market, we're going to be above this high and potentially, possibly even above this high here. And that high is all the way up at $144, and we are at $4.58 right now, potentially going down to about $4.35. So big things in store. Looking at this thing from a more overall scope, you can see that volume is building as we're coming out of this higher low. The most volume we've seen since our actual all-time low. Very bullish, man. As well as the structure here, you can see very nice V bottom along with a kind of more U bottom here. This is an Adam and an Eve. Beautiful, beautiful. I do think that it goes higher. I think that the true colors are going to fly once we break this here. But in the meantime, we can see some nice upside. We're at 458 now. To move up to our next high, I would expect, let's see, from this top to to this low, this next low would probably be just a little bit below there. We could see a price around $8.83 to maybe $10.70, somewhere in there. Above this purple line is what I would expect, and that purple line is at $8. It's or about $7.93, and that would be just above this high here. So once we break this high, I don't think we're going to stop. I don't think it's going to be like a fake out. I do think that we would make strides higher. So and then have a little break, come back down, test this previous area of resistance as support, as we're doing now. That's all we're doing, right? We're testing this previous area of resistance as support. Yes, here was on a wicking basis, here was the resistance. We found a little support here, we broke below it, but technically, very, very technically, on a closing and an opening basis, we actually are holding this area of support as well. And we could go lower, man. We really could. We could go lower than even what I've projected. If we went all the way down to 377, that's still a higher low than this low here. So I'm not concerned as long as we hold this higher low structure. I do think that Cleanspark is fine. And by the end of the bull market, which would be sometime late 2025 to the beginning of 2026, I would expect that we're going to be probably well above $42. It's definitely there. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Very nice volume coming off of this higher low around all-time lows here. Just you've only seen this volume come in at the lows. Look at what happened last time you saw anything like this. We went from $1 all the way up to $42, right? Yeah. So here we are at 175. I do think, and I would expect, that we break this high here and we'd make our way back to the all-time highs, if not probably past that. But we'll see. That'll take time. Anyways, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.